Good evening and welcome to the Cover One Buffalo podcast. You are joining your host, Greg Tompsett, along with my contractually obligated partner in crime, Aaron Quinn. Aaron, how we doing?
Dude, honestly, I'm not even that mad. I'm like very annoyed right now. Like I'm frustrated that it's 11:30 at night. I stayed up to watch this game. I want to be mad at everybody, but also everyone did some good stuff. I don't know, man. This one's gonna be a tough one to process. I appreciate everybody that's come to process this one with us tonight because it's been a while since we kind of like suffered one of these. And I'm not having fun with it. So I hope that by the end of this, it feels therapeutic and we can thank the crowd and the people that did show up for this one. But how about you, Greg? How you feeling right now, man?
Yeah, how's the video clip go? Like I'm straight up not having a good time. Sloppy, uninspired. Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. Every time there's anything good going, the refs inserted themselves. There was an absurd amount of flags and referee, but that's not why we lost. Like the referees did not cost us.
Got in the second half too, right?
Yeah, correct. The Pats, and on top of that, although there were a ridiculous amount where I would like to see referees let the teams play a bit more, it's not like there were replays where it was some like egregious missed call. Like we fouled the guys when it happened. Like we were downfield or offsides or hold. Like
there was a couple of them I thought were weak. I thought a couple of them were weak, but they went both ways. They had some weak ones too.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, there was a McGovern hold that was weak, but there was a couple that I was like, come on,
dude. Hockley's crew, they love nothing more than
my god, that man loves the camera.
Dude, they
loves the camera.
But on that note, like one thing I'm not going to probably be interested in a lot is, to your point, like I think the Bills earned a lot of their penalties, and I think the Patriots got a fair shake of, or probably not a fair shake at some penalties. And while the Bills probably had more flags, let's see the yards. I think Patriots had some. I mean, they had the 215 yards
back to 30 yards worth late. They did. The Patriots had more penalty yardage. We had 11 flags for 90 yards. They had 8 for 93.
Yeah.
So they actually had more penalty yardage and beat us. Like they straight up beat us. I won't, better is a very relative term because of, obviously Josh Allen is the superior player. But Drake might have played better tonight. Like he didn't make multiple pretty terrible turnovers. Like some of those, like I don't know if we're ever going to find out exactly who the tight end jet sweep missed handoff was on. I don't know if Josh tried to pull it back or if Kincaid didn't get it and couldn't run with it. It was weird that they didn't show replays of that.
Josh will put it on himself. I'm guarantee you in the postgame. Colin,
for sure. Yeah, that's what I mean. We'll never know the truth. He got away with a couple that didn't get called for interceptions. The late one on the penalty wouldn't have because he floated over, but the other one was a terrible pick, like just a bad interception. And then, late he did have some nice efficient decisions during the game, but on that last drive, like there was just a lot of big play hunting. You're going for the win, which again, if he hits, if Keon Coleman comes down and toe taps at the back of the end zone instead of falling out in the white, like we're all, shooting finger guns, pew 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 pew, like it's awesome. But it would have been cool to get some yards and have an option earlier on some of those plays. So again, this is fully based on how high the bar is for Josh Allen and how amazing he is. But we went into the fourth quarter with 10 points. Like that's not acceptable. Like that we can't score 10 points in going into the fourth quarter and then be mad at the defense for losing this game.
I definitely have some plays marked for it, like you talked about late in that second half where it felt like from the broadcast something was available underneath.
Sure.
Josh saw it and maybe hesitated, to your point, to like try to find that big play. And I think I'm hesitant to put a lot of that on Josh because in that moment I also felt like I needed Josh to do some Superman Josh Allen stuff. Like the efficient stuff wasn't working. We weren't really able to move the ball up and down the field on that New England Patriots defense today. Like they really didn't allow James Cook. I think late in the game, they said his longest was 9 yards. Like they didn't allow any of those explosive runs to really break out. They really even kept, Josh leaked out a little bit late with some of the scrambles, but some of his scrambles were not the big ones we're used to. Like they were getting a spy on him, getting some guys on him. And so
Vrabel had a great game plan.
Yeah, they really stuck it to them in terms of like not allowing them to. So the one thing that was working at points in the game was the shot plays, especially those like intermediate Kincaid up the middle of the field. Like some of that stuff was working. So I do understand wanting to push the ball in those moments. But it did feel like it hurt him. And I definitely marked those plays to, hey, let me see if the all 22, if was Cook really open on that, or was somebody over the top and I just didn't see it on the broadcast.
Sure. Yeah. There's a lot of things that we've had such a crazy stretch of, winning the turnover battle that like tonight, 3-1, losing 2 fumbles, having an interception, having a couple other, we're kind of fortunate not to be there. It was, it shows how impactful that is. It shows what a big impact that has on the game, and that, there are going to be games where we can get away with that, but you can't have the combination of those and then also shoot yourselves in the foot with a couple of drives. Like it's not like there was a ton of other bad drives where we're turning the ball over by our own decision. We only punted twice, but they both were in positions where like, oh man, like we had a chance to kind of turn that around there and to be able to
especially those ones early, right? Like the defense was playing pretty locked in early, those first handful of drives when we get into that drive summary. And so it felt like you just were missing those opportunities like you did early last week. But I kept having the faith of like, hey, this is a second half team. They turned it around multiple times this year. But I think the Patriots kind of like dragged you into the mud with them a little bit in that second half. And that's not necessarily, I think, a fight the Bills want to be in without a healthy defense for sure. And then definitely with the way the offense was big play hunting and not really able to kind of jumpstart with regular consistency. You don't want to get in a fist fight with a physical team that's trying to really, their hardest to beat you. Congratulations to the Patriots. This was a good victory, but also Bills fans, keep in mind, like, this is like some of those Bills years when you would have a Sports Illustrated yearbook. This is their like highlight victory for their Sports Illustrated yearbook of the 2025 Patriots, right? Like they came out, this is probably the best we're going to see them look, which I don't know if that says how much that says about the Bills necessarily. Maybe we'll break some of that down tonight here, Greg, but this was a good game for them. But I think this is the absolute ceiling for the Patriots. I think the Bills played down poorly and got dragged into the mud with them.
Yeah, I agree. I think they played like their A1 game tonight and played very, very well.
Clean football.
If not for 5 fumbles in that Pittsburgh game, the Patriots would be number 1 of the division right now. They very rightfully should be 4-1 with a head-to-head advantage. Like they should be number 1 of the division right now if they don't have that super weird Pittsburgh game. And it just shows you like we can't take it for granted. We can't just assume that we're going to be the better team and that we'll always, either Josh will always be able to save us or somebody will come up and make a clutch defensive play. That we'll get to some of the drives like what they did, make a couple stops when it mattered. But, ultimately, 23 points, we should win. If you give up 23 points, we should win. Like people asked earlier after the Ravens game going into the second week, like how many points would you need to give up to have confidence in the defense again? And I put 23 because that's always my answer. Like if we give up 23 points, we should win 19 out of 20 games. Like that should be automatic. And tonight is a good example that it's just not that simple to that we can shoot ourselves in the foot enough to only score 20 points.
I want to call this comment out a little bit, Swin here, not calling you out, just this comment a little bit. Are we somewhat paper tigers? Defense isn't good enough, but we'll be fun in the playoffs. I think everyone's a paper tiger right now in the NFL. Like I just watched a bunch of weird football all day long, some very weird games. This was the Bills' worst game, definitely. I'm not going to react crazy week to week. Patriots are a pretty good team, probably better than we thought. They're
going to be in the playoffs.
I think they'll be a playoff team. They'll be a nuisance, but the Bills have dealt with this before. They've had losses in the division. I mean, not a lot over the last few years, but I mean, they have had teams hang with them. And this is one of the worst division games I've seen the Bills play. This is up there with some of those Jets games that the Jets have taken advantage of this Josh Allen and the Bills. But Allen mostly had a decent game in that, and that's where it's hard to wrap my head around. It's really just a handful of plays for him tonight that are frustrating, but you also understand why he made those plays.
Yeah. Can we launch the rivalry jerseys into the sun?
And yeah, I tried like participating in this for the background, but I don't want it anymore.
I did. I'm even wearing the sweatshirt. I want to take it off during the game. Like
it was
whatever.
cute for like a minute. Cool marketing
cute
thing. I'm good. I'm good
it's
on
fine.
seeing those.
And if we
look
won,
that good on the broadcast,
no one would care.
Yeah.
No one would care if they won. But yeah, it's not like it had any actual. Maybe if they did like white end zones, I would have felt better about it.
I will say it didn't feel like the Seattle game. Seattle had their end zones and stuff done for the throwbacks and stuff.
Same thing the Cardinals did.
Yeah. It did feel like the stadium piece was missing a little bit from this one. A little bit on that note.
Yeah. I know you brought up the run game. Easily James Cook's worst game of the season. 1 target for 0 catches, 15 carries for 49 yards, 3.3 yards per carry. First game not to get into the end zone. He had set the franchise record at 8 straight games, like ending this week. I don't know. Like there were some times where there was a piece of it that I felt like we were going to pass the ball more in this game because I thought New England's run defense was better than their pass defense, and that the better way to move the ball on them was to pass the ball. So part of that wasn't shocking to me, but it was more impactful than I expected. I didn't expect Cook to get bottled up for 3.3 yards per carry.
Yeah, I think maybe the Bills got caught a little bit playing this game. You've heard Eric talk a lot about like how vanilla this offense has been, and and even as much as I can't stand listening to Collinsworth talking about like lining up and being predictable and being like they know when you line up and you're under center or whatever, you're most likely going to run, like all this stuff. And the Bills do that and do it well and dictate. But I think we found out a little bit tonight what happens when you don't and you can't dictate, and that run game doesn't fully get started. And it's tough because I don't know what the answer is. It's easy for me to sit on Twitter or whatever and say Joe Brady sucks at play calling. But at the same time, I've seen James Cook week over week here like dominate. And so it also felt to me during the game like he was about to break many of those runs. There was I think that 9-yard run that was his longest for the day, Greg. If somebody doesn't get his shoestrings, that's like a 40-yard run. If not going to the house, he had a couple of those where it felt like he was going to break. So I understand Brady sticking to it. You've seen it. Your offense is operated the best when he's going. He just won AFC Player of the Month, Offensive Player of the Month. So like, I understand wanting to go to him, but I think you found out a little bit when you lean too long into a game. This is what kind of can happen. It can get away from you. And that's what happened tonight to the Bills.
Yeah, spot on. I think it's super easy to take for granted.
That Kincaid stuff was open all day. If you want to get into tight ends, that felt like we called that in the preview show, and it felt like it was open pretty much whenever they wanted it.
Yeah, so from a receiving standpoint, Kincaid's second career 100-yard game, 6 for 108. Khalil Shakir with a kind of an odd game.
Yeah.
6 for 45. It was all like line of scrimmage yak stuff, including sadly like a very uncharacteristic drop for him that wouldn't have been a big play, but would have been a really helpful 5-6 yards.
Yeah.
At the time, and then Coleman made a clutch catch there and scored the touchdown. Curtis Samuel was not really he didn't do all that much. That was a Joe Brady design setup.
Beautiful design too. He made a big catch early though, but it was a quiet night otherwise.
Yeah. So just an odd night. You're really big Dalton Kincaid night, but not anything. Obviously, when you're looking across the field and seeing Stephon Diggs making toe tapping catch after toe tapping catch, crazy
vintage.
He looked an awful lot like
it was a love story to the Ralph from Diggs.
Oh, like it was painful to see. You made a couple funny analogies on
I don't know, can I say it without getting canceled on YouTube?
Yeah, correct. But yeah, like it was tough to see him play so well and in clutch moments for them. Just really hard,
especially the way May was playing today. Like,
yeah,
when we talk about the defense, I'm going to be talking about like how was he able to roll out to the right consecutive, but it looked like Allen when he was coming up, and and Diggs looked like vintage Diggs, and it was very reminiscent of many games I saw on that turf of Diggs just making plays low to the ground, sliding in, toe tapping. Like, he made some elite nasty stuff tonight. Lots of juice left for him, the way he's recovered. A testament to the way he takes care of his body, for how quick he's recovered, and like the way he's moving. He looks just like he used to. I'm sure he was up big for this one. It's probably going to be his game of the year here. But good for him. I don't have any ill. I know there's a lot of ill will out there towards Stephon Diggs. I mean, I get it. It ended toxic. I have a bunch of ex-girlfriends that didn't end great, but I wish them nothing but the best.
So, yeah, you're the bigger. You're the
I'm
bigger
living
person.
well. Yeah, we're still living well as Bills fans. Like, everybody can eat.
Life is fine.
Yeah,
we'll get to that in a couple of the super chats. There's some good perspective in there.
Fantastic.
One last one on offense before I read some of the super chats. I mean, obviously, Chris Collinsworth couldn't shut up about how much time Josh Allen had in the pocket. So it almost makes it more frustrating. Like, I don't know. I don't know if they were trying to spy and muddle rush and dare Josh to take the profit. I don't know. Like, it makes
spying going on.
It makes Josh's performance, and again, I'm holding him to his standard. I'm not holding him to like regular NFL standards. By regular NFL standards, 22 of 31 for 253 and 2 touchdowns is plus a very, very good game. 53 yards rushing. The 2 turnovers, some of the big play hunting, some of the things that we got lucky. He could have had 3 interceptions, 4 interceptions. That. By his standard, this is a very poor game. For regular humans, this is a very nice game.
Also, as sloppy as it was, like, statistically, one thing that I was really frustrated with this game with Josh Allen was the hits that he took. A lot of like head bouncing off turf. One that late hit was very
curious. I was kind of curious. Like, are we going to have to do an evaluation kind of?
There was a couple where I was like, man, they might pull him in like big spots too, like going into a third down where you're down by 2 scores. And they didn't ever check him, but he got his head hit a few times that I didn't love, and kind of close to rolling up on a shoulder on one of those like 3-yard scramble runs where he didn't go anywhere. So probably took some extra unnecessary hits that we didn't need him to collect tonight as well.
Before we do defense, I'm gonna go through a couple here. Kel, some good positive perspective for everyone moaning about how the sky is falling. Do yourself a favor and listen to some Ravens podcast tomorrow and recalibrate. I like it. Jason, I think pretty accurate one here. Huge missed opportunity. We will be okay, but hated the missed opportunity to create more distance in the division and AFC. Frustrated in every level. We saw a lot of other teams lose today. Pretty much only the Colts won. Like, pretty much everybody else lost. So the Chargers lost. They're looking pretty good. Obviously, now that already the Chiefs Jaguars game is going to matter a lot tomorrow night, but now even more impactful as the Chiefs look
about beating those fan bases though, right? Like, everybody thought KC was dead and the Chargers were going to run away with it. That's a lot closer.
Heck, by tomorrow night the Chiefs could be in first place in the AFC West already again.
Absolutely, it's the NFL. It's going to be close down to the stretch.
Our guy pad in here. Turnovers were a 14-point swing at least by my count. 3 off the Keon fumble, lost 3 to 7 off of the interception, and they scored 7 off the interception. The turnover winning streak is over. Better team, learn that. Better to learn that now than in January.
I'll take my medicine on that one, because I've said, the Bills defense did get odd turnovers, so the turnovers themselves were sustainable, but we weren't able to win that battle. And I poked fun at a lot of people that said that would dry up. It definitely dried up this game in terms of being able to get more than the other team.
Yeah, we'll see where it goes back to. I don't think we're done. It's a positive ratio and taking care of the ball.
It was a very impressive run where I could really dunk on people for
25 games.
A lot of memes, a lot of fun.
25 games, I think. Pratik saying feels like the Bills' offense has consistently had midseason lulls since 2020. Always had an annoying game or two in October. That's not wrong. We've had several of those. Diggs looked pretty good. Again, I
don't know if we can read this
fantastic.
Chat.
I didn't.
On screen could read that one.
I moved on. People saw it. Diggs played well. For AQ to feel better, lost the turnover about 3-1 and 10+ penalties. Still felt like we should win. Sucks, but in that, I think if you're going to take anything away from it, it's we played pretty bad. Josh had probably his worst game in 2+ years. Probably our worst offensive game in a good while. Maybe there might have been a weird lull one. I'm not thinking of immediately, but a good healthy chunk. We shot ourselves in the foot repeatedly. Horrible penalties, self-inflicted penalties. I'm not going to blame the referees at all. Like we penalized ourselves, and we still had a shot to win the game. Like we still had the ball driving with 5:52. We'll talk about that last drive. Like I thought we were going to put it away. I was like, oh my God, we're going to get away with this. I can't believe it. And I thought we were going to drive down and score a touchdown and win. So the fact that all those things happened and we didn't, it still looks pretty good.
Is that my problem with that though, Greg? Is one of the concerns that I have coming out of this game that maybe was more glaring than the scoreboard shows is like the age of this team. And I think where you can like hang in a game like this and we can talk ourselves what you just said, that like you maybe also prevent yourself from like doing anything that maybe you would need to do, like making the right moves at some of these positions that are not looking great that we'll get to as we roll into the defense maybe.
I think you're going to find a theme here in the last couple of comments. Arthur saying, if this is the trade what we have going forward, what is our plan when we face KC with Xavier Worthy or Tampa with Igbuka and Mike Evans? Good for casual mark here. It was a very weird football game. Thank you guys. That was very pleasant.
Appreciate you, man.
Michael said Trey White cost us this game too many times. The play went against him. So let's go into the defense, and there's no sense tiptoeing around it. I'm going to start with a couple other areas. I didn't see, obviously we can't see a lot of safety play until we get to see replays. So obviously, Cole Bishop coming up and missing the tackle, a couple whiffs from Taylor Rapp. Like some of those are ugly, but also I think some of the positive plays we saw were them taking away options and doing a good job with that. I also I had a couple moments where I was like, oh, and it was Taron Johnson. Like there was a couple spots where I was like, I'm not used to having those reactions. Yeah. And then I can't count how many times I was like wincing or cringing when it was Trey White. Like it was just so repeated. My only solace is I know the team saw it because they were rotating Dorian Strong, a 6th-round pick, into starting. So I have to tell myself that when Max Harrison can come back, which I'm hoping is coming out of the bye in week 8, that they're going to rotate him in, and that by the end of the season he'll be the starting corner, and it'll be our 1st-round pick opposite Christian Benford, because in games that matter at the end, he will just be the red flag target. Like they'll just go at him.
Yeah, I know. I don't have an answer for this one, Greg, because some wise guy once told me that hope is not a plan. And so I'm nervous to put the eggs in the basket of Harrison, because I do understand why people are excited. I understand the athleticism is also exciting to me, and it would have looked at least aesthetically a lot more pleasing chasing Stephon Diggs today in some of those moments.
And might have been in position to prevent a throw or two. Like he could have
on a ball or two. Like I see that, but I also see the unknown that I haven't seen him. I don't know and we're going to throw him in here, and there's going to be a rotation. I don't know what the answer is. I don't know what they're going to do. I'd like to maybe bring in something additionally of some kind. I don't know. I feel like it's a very interesting spot for the Bills right now because of they have that investment of the 1st-round pick. What they have on the roster is not cutting it. Strong hasn't played as well as I had hoped, even though they've rotated him in. Doesn't feel like anyone's really going to take it, and that Harrison might take a while to get on the job. Don't love this. I'm not a fan. I don't know that there's a good answer right now.
Yeah. So I guess if we're grasping for silver linings or grasping for things,
right? Like he works out as
correct.
Him to be. Answer number 1.
The fact that we have a 1st-round pick on the roster ready to play is by far our highest likelihood of something working out. As a backup plan, we have seen them do exactly this. Like they went out and traded for Rasul Douglas. Like one of the most impactful midseason trades he's made was for a starting cornerback. Like, so he has done that. But the answer is going to be Max Harrison. So now whether that's a good answer or not, whether that's going to solve what we have here or not, they're not going to go and trade for a guy to put in front of their 1st-round pick. They're going to find out.
I don't like it. They're
going to find out.
It's a lot of risk coming up here over the next couple of months that I just don't love. I feel that's probably the thing I'm going to be paying the most attention to is his return. How's that look? It's making me antsy a week ago. I was like, oh, let's let him take his time. This is fine. We'll get through this. And I'm like, no, let's
we need him back right now.
Rub that thing down. Let's go. Spit on it.
Yeah. Whatever you got, like some Mr. Miyagi stuff. Whatever you got to do. Whatever you got to do. Zach here saying AQ needs more players coming back. We'll be fine.
Honestly, I'm fine. I'm not even that mad that I'm so annoyed at tonight. I'm just tired, guys. I slept on the floor of a tent for 2 nights.
That's your fault.
Grumpy.
That's your fault.
Yeah.
So the weird part is, just staying on defense before we flip things over. Like the pass rush was reasonably good tonight. Like,
was it at times? I think.
Well, but you got to think, like, no team, short of like the stupid games where teams get mauled, no team like is sacking a quarterback every time. But like we had 20 plus pressures and 4 sacks. Like, it wasn't not, and the plays that got made, like, who do you blame for Daquan Jones blew through and sacked Drake May, and like on his way down he side flipped it to Stephon Diggs. Like, that's a great pass rush play. Yeah, like, there's no one to blame on that.
Some guys, he made some plays. I also thought that some of the pressures were coverage pressures. Like, there was a bunch of times where he dropped back. Seemed like there was nothing, and it felt like the offensive line was giving him a lot of time. And then all of a sudden, a pressure leaked through. It just felt inconsistent to me. They started the game hot. Groot looked like he was going to light the world on fire coming out to start this game. Bosa was a little slow, but got going as the game went on for him.
A couple more contained things for him where it's hard for me to know until we see it back. Like, there was a couple, I think actually Collinsworth made a positive point pointing out that
he got sucked.
We got caught in a couple stunts where like it just worked that direction.
His athleticism just broke the stunt.
Correct.
You can do. He's making those Josh Allen throws along the sideline.
Yes, sadly, and I think that was actually the most harrowing, like, frustrating point for me tonight. I don't care about the game. We're still going to win the division. We're still going to be better than them. This isn't a real thing. Like, it sucks that we lost, but like I didn't think we were actually going to go 17.
He's good enough to build around.
It sucks that like he's really good. Drake May is really good. That's annoying. Like, we'll see how good and what his ultimate ceiling is, but like, he beat us tonight. Yeah. Like, he made the plays.
Too.
What?
Will Campbell?
Yeah, he didn't we didn't take advantage of him. Like, I think he gave up a little bit there.
Yeah. But for a rookie, there was like some impressive pass rush moves that he was winning. Like, he made those guys.
We tried to send some stuff and they held up reasonably. Like, again, like, we also got some blitzes through and some things worked when we flushed them out. And Drake made plays. Like, that was it. Like, he made enough plays to win the game.
Mm-hmm. I think one thing about this defense as a whole in this game that I want to know, I don't remember. I don't have it noted exactly when Milano went out in this game. So I don't know if banged up Bills.
I saw questionable. I saw Peck. That he re-injured his pec, which is super concerning.
I don't love that. Yeah. But I kind of noticed, and I don't know, I'm going to go back and watch. It felt like at that point, that's when the defense kind of just like took a big step back. They were playing really good football. I saw Matt Milano's doubtful. Then they weren't playing really good football. It wasn't even anything about Shaq Thompson. He played fine. Like, he made a really big play on a third down. This is not a knock on him. Just felt like the defense as a whole played much different.
Yeah. I don't know exactly what that point was when some of the scoring drives were late for them. So the plays that we gave up, them going that 11 play 90-yard touchdown drive was just unbelievably deflating. So any other comments on defense before I have a little bit for special teams?
No.
So from a special team standpoint, I'm torn. How do you feel about? It seems pretty obvious that they're preparing for Brandon Codrington to be one of the releases for the suspended guys to come back. Which, again, if you're going to grasp at anything for the defense to further improve, adding Ed Oliver, Michael Hoyt, Larry Ogunjobi are better than realistically anybody we're going to trade for. So like, that should have a positive impact, but we need roster spots for some of them. Some of that, we had some call ups, some practice squad elevations, things like that, but they'll need a spot. And it's pretty clear that like having Khalil Shakir back and having Curtis Samuel or Elijah Moore or Ty Johnson or whoever, but not having just a returner as a roster spot seems like it's going to be one of the answers. How do you feel about that?
It's weird right now, the roster. Because you also, like, today you had Elijah Moore as a game day inactive. You have a perfectly what seems like a serviceable receiver, and I actually missed some of those plays in the game today where he was getting those jet sweep plays. Not that I needed him to be active to take 2 of those a game, but just even having that motion that it's like going to him. So it's a weird spot right now where the roster's at. I do think that this is going to be better than probably anything they'll get at the trade deadline. It looks like, unless some big name starts to shake.
Sure.
Loose.
Yeah, like I get asked like 3 times a day about Jeffrey Simmons, which sure.
If that happens,
he's not going to get traded, but yes, if somehow he hit the market, I hope that
is Hendrickson going to get traded now that sea's over? It does not look fun there.
I can't imagine, but
I couldn't believe it. I don't think we want to do that. Anyways, yeah, I got nothing else. Sorry.
Obviously, Prater made his kicks. Wisniewski was in weird positions when we punted. One was, we'll talk about the drive here, one of the ugly ones early. So everything else is pretty normal. Our actual returns, like Curtis Samuel did a decent job when we returned. So I don't know that it's some huge difference. And right now, I don't think that there's been anything from Brandon Connerton that makes me feel like we have to have that roster spot.
One point I do want to make on the punt returns, whether it's Connerton or not, I don't love the Micah Hyde, Shakir's back there, maybe fair catches the preferred outcome that they want him to do. He's not super aggressive. So I don't know if that's being told hey, we don't want you to get crazy out there on a punt. But I do think part of what's baked into the problems that the offense faced tonight and even early last week was they are starting in some pretty bad spots field position wise and are being asked to go 90 yards. If you get Khalil Shakir fair catches it and then you get a hold and it's half the distance to the goal, you're starting on the 10 or something like that.
And we did get a hold a couple of those times. We did do that.
I said it for a reason, right? Those things add up to where now you're a full first down back. Now you got to get an extra 3 plays on a drive. So now instead of going 12 plays, you got to go 17 play drive or something like that. And as good as this offense is, that kind of puts a little added pressure that doesn't need to be there. And so it'd be nice to take advantage, like some of these other teams around the league, of special teams plays and get a little more explosives and have it be more meaningful in the game. But yeah, it's fine. It did its job.
Yeah. All right, let's jump in and go into
we have to relive it right now.
We could fast forward through some of it.
Fine.
Honestly, it started out pretty perfect. Exactly what we were looking for. We won the toss and deferred, so we get the chance to double dip, which always means, hey, as long as you don't give up an opening score, that's a win because you're getting the possession back later on. We did give up the first play to Diggs, of course, but then Groot blows up the run play. We do get a completion in between, and then Groot gets the sack there. Like, oh my God, this is all coming together perfect. Yep. We caused, technically not a 3-and-out, but a first down and then a 3-and-out right afterwards, and end up getting ourselves, okay, we got the ball back. Everything's good. And we start pretty well. But, of course, the first play is a flag right off the bat. So we didn't realize that was setting the tone for the whole evening. Yeah. But on the very first play, we get a flag, but they start moving the ball down the field. Everything's coming together really well. Couple big ones to Kincaid, looking really good. And then what do you think happened on the Dawson Knox jet sweep?
I think Knox just fumbled it. I think he was supposed to, or maybe
you think it was a tight end jet sweep.
I think he thought it was, at least. He didn't look like he was faking a handoff. He looked like he was taking one to me. Josh looked surprised though, so I think there was a miscommunication, perhaps, of or maybe he was just surprised it just didn't come out clean. It looked like it just hit off his stomach a little bit and kind of fumbled it.
That's what Josh's reaction, and I'm the hard part is we're never going to hear the honest answer. So I'm super curious. Was that it wasn't mistimed in the sense of Knox hit the ball out of his hands because Josh didn't realize, he knew, but I can't tell, was that supposed to be a fake?
I don't think then with the actual ball though, right? It would be like one of those, you're behind, your back's turned
Yeah.
Which I don't know. I don't think Josh would put his ball in his stomach if it wasn't supposed to go to him. I don't know. That's a tough one.
Yeah. So what looked like was going to be a perfect start to the game. We were going to get basically not a 3 and out, but a quick stop and then a touchdown drive. We're already at midfield because they did get a very nice punt. Whoever New England's punter is, Behringer, had a heck of a game.
Yep.
Pinned us and then had a couple of rocket punts on a couple other ones. And then we get the ball, but we're on our way to go for what felt like was about to be an 86-yard touchdown drive. We get to midfield, and then all of a sudden it's like, all right. So not only do we not convert there, but a team that you don't want to give any momentum or energy.
Wait, I think you skipped again because the Pats fumbled right after the Bills fumbled.
Yeah, no, I'm still on our possession.
Oh,
I'm still talking about our possession.
All right, I thought you jumped past. Sorry.
No, the fact that what should have felt like getting off to a perfect start with a stop and a score. Like that's how and I think the first drive, our first starting drive this season, that wasn't a touchdown.
Yeah,
we had scored a touchdown on each of the first opening drives of each of the other games.
Yeah.
So having one here where we don't score.
Few drives felt though like that. It felt like your normal offense until like, oh, why'd you drop that, or why did you fumble that ball? Like, just weird things were happening that we haven't really seen from this team in a while. Kind of sort of popped up on them.
Then, unfortunately, we get like our Rasheed Wallace ball don't lie moment. So we get it right back. Ramondre Stevenson, who already had a fumbling issue, and certainly made up for it. The guy's rushed for 2 touchdowds, so it definitely
had a better day.
Made up for it later on. But fumbles the ball first play, gives it right back to us. Shaq Thompson punches it out. Terrell Bernard falls on it. Terrell Bernard does have a weird knack of collecting
around the ball.
Yeah. So, see, it was actually cover one heaven miscues too. So it's
that was my fault.
It's infectious. And then this is one of the frustrating ones here, where if I told you that, so we just got the turnover. We're starting, in pretty good.
It was like
position
at the 47, right
here. So we start on our 38.
Okay.
But like I think where the ball got fumbled forward, where it got recovered, it was at our 30. It was still pretty good position. Like we're still in pretty favorable position, and our first play is a 20-yard pass.
Yeah, we were just moving the ball too.
We have a 1st and 10 at the New England 42, and if I told you we had a 1st and 10 at the New England 42, and we ended up punting, I would have been like, how? Like, how does that even happen?
Well, tell us what happened.
So, of course, with the theme of the night, first right off the bat, we get a penalty. So negate an 8-yard run, which should have taken us down, down from the 37 down to the 29. Instead, we go back to the 42. We get an incompletion. We then get another incompletion, and all of a sudden it's 4th and 10.
Yeah.
And it's at the 42, and we're not going to bring Prater out there to kick a 59-yard field goal, but just such a weird spot of like, how did that so both drives, I'm just sitting there looking into the screen being like, how are we giving the ball back again?
Yeah.
And both times felt like we were moving the ball and about to score. And what did we do?
Yeah. We made that 2nd and 10 was it looked to me like a miss by Josh on like a comeback to Keon on the sideline. He just kind of missed him for that incompletion. And then on that 3rd and 10, from the broadcast view, it didn't look like a great 3rd and 10 play. Like it looked like you had some guys open underneath, which is, I'm sure, the Patriots defensive design. Like, go ahead, go for it. And Josh
getting 6 there on this play and getting into 4th and 4 at the New England 36 is a very doable decision, because then say you just get 6 on that play and you take one of the checkdowns.
Yeah, you got to get some yards here. I know.
Yeah, at the 36, you're choosing, okay, now a 53-yard field goal is more palatable, or just go for it at 4th and 4. So it's just some of that stuff was frustrating to the choices that were made.
Yeah, that 3rd and 10 too, wasn't a great play. They should have just taken some yardage. But then, Josh makes a great throw and catch, but Jones makes a good play on the ball. It would have been a tough catch to bring in. And before you know, you're punting. But yeah, it just feels like they kind of had these small little hiccups all night, where it's like, oh yeah, there was just a miscue here, and then all of a sudden it's 3rd and long and you're punting, or 4th and long and you're punting.
I know I saw just a comment come up about Josh Palmer. I've seen him on a lot of the metrics. It shows he's getting separation and getting open. So I don't know if there's just not a chemistry element where Josh hasn't built enough trust with him, or if it's a Brady thing where he's just not at that point in the progression of what's there. And obviously, Kincaid had a really good game. Shakir has a ton of trust and things built in. We know that Josh has put in a lot of reps with Keon.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's certainly, I've seen those same ones that show that he's earned maybe more opportunities in his game.
Attention. It's a tough one though, because we've been calling for Kincaid and he's getting it. Yeah. And we don't want it to be taken away from some of these other guys. We want Samuel to get kind of a gadget play here and there. There's only one ball to go around, so it does make it tough. But the metrics seem like they're there for it. The forcing it to Keon early, I felt like played as a little bit, they want to get him going. I get it. But when you're forcing it, it's bad. They don't have that guy. You can't come out here and say everybody eats and then force to a guy, in my opinion. Like, you got to go throw to the open guy.
Yeah. The most dangerous guy is the open guy.
Yeah.
So here we did punt. We pinned them a little bit deep. They get a couple first downs, kind of start to get some things going, get up to midfield. And then we did get the incompletion where Diggs isn't able to make the catch, 4th and 3. And that's one where, I was joke about the definition of analytics is do what the other team's fans don't want you to do. I didn't want him to go for it. And I was kind of surprised that at the 50, 4th and 3, when you're the underdog, I was really surprised that Vrabel punted.
Yes. On this drive, though, I was feeling pretty decent, even though they moved. They got that really nice 3rd and 8 where Booty just kind of did the Jordan Space Jam reach to get the first down out of Benford's clutches there. But you had the stuff by Dion on 2nd and 3, and you had the drop there. I was feeling pretty good. But you're right. I didn't want them to continue to play offense here. But at this point in the game, I still felt really good about the way the defense was playing. AJ Epinesa had an almost sack that led to an incompletion of this. He had a pretty nice game in moments. I'm sure he had some plays he wants back too, but flashed in moments in this game.
Yeah, I actually was pretty pleased with the pass rush tonight. It was more the coverage that I was frustrated with tonight.
Daquan Jones, I think, had a really nice game in this one tonight, both against in the pass game, but also here on this one. He had a run stuff on a 2-yard gain to give it a 2nd and 8, where then AJ almost got the sack. So playing some really good defense, I think, along the defensive line early in this game made me feel good. Whether or not if they would roll somebody out at 4th and 3 at this point in the game, I was feeling good about the Bills defense, even though I don't want them to do that like you're saying.
Yeah, of course not.
Yeah.
And here we go right back. We tried to run a play. We actually got 6 yards for Samuel, but got, of course, another penalty. Took us back. So now we're back at the 7-yard line. And now Robert Spillane punches it out from Keon, and we turn the ball over at our 9-yard line to just hand it. And now, we're in this weird position where, like, we've had things going, and now the worst thing you can do when you're a favorite is give the other team confidence, give the other team that idea that, hey, that they're good enough to play with you. And that's where upsets come from. That's where these things happen from. And this is a perfect way to invite them to do that.
Yeah. Where'd this drive start? Where was that?
So because we
lost 7 yards. It was a first.
Our point of us being surprised Vrabel punted is because they were at the 50. Yeah. So they're at midfield. Right. So their punt pinned us back at the 14.
Yeah.
Then our first play we tried to run would have gone out to the 20, but instead we got called back for a penalty. So it's half the distance from the goal from the 14, took us back to the 7. Josh then threw the pass to Keon, and he fumbled there. I think he gained a couple yards, but he fumbled at like the
9-yard. Yeah. I know it was 1st and goal when they got the ball.
Literally starting with 1st and goal.
Totally unacceptable.
I take that back. It technically was first and 10 of the 11.
Yeah, this one is one I'm gonna have to go back and watch because I was so mad of how, like, just yelling this is unacceptable in my house. Like, you can't have this, especially with as good as the defense was playing early in this game. You can't just that's just giving points away. You're just handing the other team some points. They could kneel it out a few times and take some points.
Yeah,
that's
which they did. Here we actually had a very good defensive drive. There's no way that a tackle for a loss and 2 incompletions should result in points.
4 plays, -1 yards, 48 seconds. As good as you could ask the defense to do.
It's a perfect 3 and out. Like, it's a fantastic 3 and out by the defense, and we got points out of it because we gave them the ball the 11-yard line.
Unbelievable. Can't do it.
Yeah. So
I did call though. I did call when Keon was getting buried on the internet. I said, "Watch, Keon's going to have a game-changing player too later on in this game because this is the player he is." I think a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe the Josh Allen of receivers.
Yeah. Maybe he's got that trajectory, making improvements. That sideline catch coming up later, and then the touchdown obviously made some really big plays. Our guy Pat in here, the first quarter recap of all the first quarters I've watched, that definitely was one of them. I did say that in the Discord. That's factually accurate. That was something. So now they kick off to us here. Samuel actually has a nice 31-yard return. We get a little bit of movement here, but every time we get anything going, we get another penalty. So just continually puts us behind the sticks. Kincaid gets a first down. We get the one nice play to Josh Palmer.
Palmer does the thing, right?
Yeah, and actually gets away from Christian Gonzalez, who's a fantastic cover corner. And again, it's starting to feel all right. Okay, we're finally getting back to normal. We're finally getting some things running here, and then we get the weird screen call that they kind of blow up, and we also get multiple ineligible downfield and offensive pass interference, both declined, and they hold us here, and it's just felt like they were maybe a step ahead of us for a lot of the plays. We moved the ball, but they certainly had a good beat for some of our go-to moments.
Yeah. You get into the red zone here, and it's first and 10. You get a nice run from Cook, right?
Yeah.
First 66-yard run. Cook was doing that on first down all day. It felt like on the second down runs, Patriots defense really locked in and put the Bills in that weird situation of being not close enough to just hand it off and go for it, but having to throw it and make Josh think. And so that's sort of what they do here. And then you get that 3rd and 3 situation after getting stuffed on a 1-yard run, which I didn't love the play call there on the 2nd and 4 and you end up getting stuffed. You run right into the teeth of the defense here with Williams and Barmore.
That's the strongest part.
It seems like it to me. And then, you get the Shakir flick loss. You get a flag on the play. They decline it because you're kicking a field goal, and they won that possession. Anytime Josh Allen runs off the field and Prater runs out there to take a point, that's a win for the other team.
Yeah, 100%. Comes right back again. Pretty solid here on the return. We almost got an immediate turnover again because Cam Lewis did cause a fumble, but the Patriots, I think Travian Henderson was able to get on top of it. We almost got another one there. There's a really weird, sloppy game. So on that ensuing kickoff, and I think weirdly, it sounds like Antonio Gibson might have had a pretty nasty knee injury.
It was a totally clean hit. Cam Lewis too was as textbook and clean as it could be, and I don't know, the knee didn't do anything.
That's what all I could think of is it might have caught before he went up in the air, maybe a PCL, hyperextension kind of thing.
He knew it. You could see on his face.
Yeah, sadly, it looked like that was pretty poor. And then again, Diggs makes another play on this drive and is able to pick up 14 yards, most of that yards after the catch. But then we start to get a little pressure. And again, Epinesa and Walker split a sack. We get another sack, although that one had offsetting penalties. So that was a tough one where on 3rd and 8, I was really ready for
Bernard made an amazing play on that one. That
was offsetting penalties are going to end up giving them a free first down, but we didn't. We were able to hold.
Yeah, that Bernard play, even though that was sort of
technically negated. Yeah.
Technically negated. That was like that Patrick Mahomes play where he's run that mirror spy and just leaks in at the right time. May comes in, makes the play. May has no idea what to do with the ball. Great play by Bernard. I think had mostly a good game tonight. It really showed out in that kind of spy coverage aspect of the game.
Yeah, I don't remember a lot of negative flashes for Terrell. I thought that was pretty solid.
Yeah, he's always around the ball. Like you said,
there obviously wasn't a ton. Yeah. We were getting killed on the outside, not like Henry, and I was terrified of Travian Henderson. We actually did a pretty good job kind of minimizing where that was coming from.
Mm-hmm.
So now we caused the punt. We have an opportunity here. Okay. We finally got a chance here to be able to get things turned around. There's 4 minutes left, or there's 6 minutes left in the half. And I'm, sitting here going, okay, if we could just go down, this would be a great time for a double dip. We can, just run the clock out, take all the rest of the time, go down and score, be able to have a chance to be able to just score, get the ball coming out of half, score again, boom, we've got the lead back, and we're going to be in great shape. We get a big Josh scramble, but then right after that, we get taken back on another penalty, get ourselves back to 1st and 20. Josh picks up a bit more, and then again, I hold Josh to a very high standard, but just not seeing all the guys up there on that side of the line of scrimmage, and not seeing that overload blitz coming on 3rd down is the only sack we took the whole game. Mm-hmm. It wasn't on the offensive line. They sent all the guys, and just, I don't know if it's just the way that it's set up, him not picking it out, and his read happened to start on the left, so he didn't even look back until it was too late, that they had already had 4 guys coming where we had 3 blockers. And, it was Hawkins and Williams were there in his face as he got there.
Yeah, this drive is where it started to feel a little bit hard for the Bills, and like they were laboring a little bit to move the ball. The first few drives, they were moving the ball fine and made mistakes, right? And then like this felt more like Josh was maybe starting to press a little bit in this drive too. You saw him scrambling more, holding on to the ball a little bit more, not taking what was available to him and trying to make some plays happen, which I wanted him to do. I was also feeling antsy and frustrated and wanting Josh Allen to do some amazing stuff. Sort of felt like that backfired here, and maybe like a play like you got a little complacent on that 3rd and 7 is all I can chalk it up to. Like he should see it if like the dudes in the booth are seeing that and calling it out. You probably should have seen that one.
Yeah. So now we've punted the ball back to them, but we're feeling pretty good because obviously the defense has actually held them every drive so far. Like they haven't gotten anything going because their only points was on a drive they started at their own 11. So I'm like, all right, well, if we could still get a stop here, we can maybe get something back and be able to still sneak something in, because we had all 3 timeouts. So I was feeling pretty good. And now the first play of this drive was the first touch of the game for Travion Henderson. And he was the one out of their whole offense. I guess I probably should have been more worried about Diggs, but I was really worried about him because of just we don't have the fastest defense. So when teams have elite speed, I get really nervous. They pitch him the ball, it gains 13 yards on the first play. It's like, oh God, don't start this. And now feeling like, this could be a little something. And we get the 2 plays here kind of moving our way through and feel like we're about to. And we then get our, ticky-tack play that Josh gets all the time. I can't be mad, but Terrell Bernard was already moving towards him as he slides and hits him. And it's a penalty. Like it's ticky-tack. It sucks. You can't make contact. You can't do it.
Yeah, you can't do that. Don't love to see it. I don't know how to stop these guys from diving towards quarterbacks as they're going down. I don't know what the right call there is, but you can't do it. You can't hit a quarterback in the head. I want Josh to get that call too.
So. Yep, 100%. And that's what I meant about, like, some fans are going to blame the refs for this. And yes, is it annoying when they're more ticky-tack than I would like for them to be? But, that's a flag. That's a penalty. You can't do it.
Yeah. Yeah, even that Trey White one that we'll talk about here in a little bit, really annoying. They technically, sure, it is. But did you have to?
Yeah.
Did we need the ball in there? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he gets to be on TV when you throw the flag. So
yeah. So anyways.
So again, that should have been a 3-yard stuff. Instead, that's 15 yards. That puts them from their side of the field all the way over to our side of the field. Weirdly, they get a 15-yard face mask on Trey White, so it moves them back to midfield. So it's ping-ponging back and forth. Then we get the combination. We get the pass play to Pop Douglas, which gets us to 2nd and 15, and we're still at the 41, so we're outside of field goal range. And I'm like, all right, this is and I'm sure they're thinking in my head, this is a key play where if we get a stop here, use the timeout, we can have him at 3rd and long and be in a good position. And Hunter Henry was pretty quiet this whole game, but this play,
big play,
like Cole Bishop was sitting there ready to catch the interception. Like he was just positioning himself ready to catch what he thought was interception. And Hunter Henry goes skying up in the air and catches the ball for a 22-yard gain. Now all of a sudden they're at our 19-yard line. And I'm sitting there going, what the hell just happened?
I know. The defense was playing so good. I won't lie that I was anticipating something stupid like this happening towards the end of the half.
We're playing better than we have all year. So,
yeah, I mean, finally make a big play, like in the worst moment of the first half, just to be annoying. And it totally exactly happens like that. That was a great throw too. Like to trust,
layered it
right in there. There wasn't a lot of spots for that play to happen, and they made it happen. Good throw and catch. There wasn't a lot of them tonight like that. That was probably maybe the throw and catch of the game for even. There's a couple of the digs actually.
Yeah, no, that late one on the sideline was ridiculous.
Yeah, that was pretty nasty.
But yeah, like I said, I'll continue to say Drake May won this game. Like he played incredibly well. This was one of those plays. He limited mistakes. And then I saw some fans in the chat being frustrated of why. I think the comment was why McDermott was helping the Patriots or giving them more plays. Like with 53 seconds left and they're at the 19, I want to take timeouts because I want to give Josh like 30, 45 seconds. Maybe we could sneak down there and get a field goal later on. Yeah. You're planning to be able to make those stops. We want to do that every time. So we don't plan on giving up the first down. And again, the defense had made stops every other drive prior to this. So like there's reason to assume they could do it again. Drake May gets the 9-yard scramble. That kind of ends that. And now all of a sudden we're in a weird spot where now they're kind of messing around with some of the play calling. You get the pass interference here with Trey on Diggs, and it was face guarding. Technically, I don't know that he even really touched him all that much, but good on Diggs for fighting back through Trey to make it playable enough. And it just added, this wasn't the worst, most egregious play from Trey tonight, but just another low light for him on a really rough night.
It was actually a good play by Trey. In my opinion, it's how they're taught to play it.
You're supposed to get your head around. You do want them. You can't just put your hands up and run into the guy. But I think he stopped short and just put his hands up.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought they got rid of having to put your head around, but maybe not in that situation. But anyways, it's not that easy to do either. Like you don't know the ball is coming. You can't just turn your head around at all times. These good receivers don't let you know when the ball is coming. So he was in like good position and the ball hit him in the calf. Yeah. Like that's where discretion needs to come into play in these games. Like, yes, sure. Is that thing that you saw potentially a penalty on a ball that's catchable? Sure. Stephon Diggs was also like 5 feet out of bounds and the ball hit Trey White in the calf. He wasn't catching a touchdown on that play. So I don't know. That's where I would love the league to have some, like he had a good play. The guy he was defending wasn't even in play to make a touchdown. So I don't know. I had a really hard time with that one. And of course it leaves them off the completion.
4 seconds left off of the penalty at the 1. And I was curious, like, is Vrabel going to have the balls to like try to make a play here? Our clock operator has to get fired. Like they would have reviewed it and checked anyways, but make them review it. Like, how do you not let the clock run out? There's 4 seconds left and they ran a play. Like every NFL play that gets run, none of them are 3 seconds. So like, I do think if they replayed it, I think a quick out at the goal line probably was 3.5 seconds and the one hadn't technically clicked off yet. But make them review that and double check it. That could have been at least a little moment of positive momentum heading into into halftime. Be like, it's 3-3. We kind of got away with one there. They tried to be sneaky and go for a touchdown, and Hunter Henry almost got away. He's probably.
That's a throw Drake May wants back because I think he put a little too much spice for what he was dealing with. He just had
just loft it there. Yeah, just float it to him. That's an easy touchdown. He had Jack Thompson beat.
Oh, man, it's tough because the defense I'm giving him 5 out of 6 stops. I'm counting the field goal, the first one, as a stop in that situation.
There's a 3 and out.
You stopped them 80% of the drives and held a team to 6 points, and you're losing going in the half.
Correct. At no point should we have 3 points in any half ever.
It's not okay. It's not okay.
Yeah. So we come back out here in what was my West Herr drive of the game.
Yeah, sure. I'm with you.
We're contractually obligated to pick one.
Yeah.
So coming out of the half, it is very deflating.
Yeah.
We're down 6-3. We're losing to the Patriots. We scored 3 points in the first half, and we almost pulled off having no negative plays, but of course we did have another penalty technically in there. But we move right down the field. We get a nice chunk to Kincaid right off the bat. We get, like you said, Cook running well on first down, gets the 9-yarder. Josh wanted to go deep on the 2nd and 1. He wanted to take a shot, but ended up just scrambling and taking the free first down. We then get the moment where I thought we were going to get kind of stuffed again.
That first and 10 run felt very telegraphed.
Yes, correct. And that's where some of the stuff that Collinsworth was talking about comes into play of like, there is a little bit of like, hey, we don't care if you know what's coming. We're good enough to execute it and you can't stop us.
Until somebody stops you.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden it does, and now you're 2nd and 9. Fortunately, the Patriots got one of their first penalties, and we're able to pull that off. We then do get the catch to Coleman, comes along really well, get ourselves at least into position there, and then the combination, a nice pass to Shakir, get the first down in 1st and goal, and then great play call by using that orbit motion return to set up Curtis Samuel to be able to trot into the end zone for free.
Yeah, you saw some of their ability to work horizontally with Shakir and Samuel here. That is super intriguing to me if that can get clicking all the time. That touchdown was wide open for Samuel. That was all play design for everybody that piss at Brady all the time. That was a beautiful one. He chalked it up, and he's doing that with stuff you don't see all game long that gets the defense to just bite and not even address Samuel running out in that way because they don't think it's part of the play, and then he's running in for a touchdown. But Shakir too, looking really like when he hits that top end speed right now, he's looking different. Like when he's getting up to speed, he looks fantastic. I think he's coming back from that injury just fine. Look great. I agree with you. It's the drive of the game for them. 10 plays, 71 yards, 539. And I felt like, all right, we've corrected it. We're back. That was ugly. It's a second half team. Let's rinse ourselves of that. We don't have to talk about that first half ever again. We'll go off. Maybe they'll probably still even score 30 is what I was thinking at this point in the game.
Yeah,
we might even run off another 30 burger.
I was ready to talk about like what an amazing second half this is going to turn into. All right, and especially because we saw them have that potential earlier in the game where we were moving it, and then whether we shot ourselves in the foot or whether we just weren't able to kind of finish things in the way we wanted, it certainly made it more challenging to be able to do that way.
For sure.
So again, thanks to our friends over at West Herr. We appreciate them greatly. Make sure to check out all the great things that they have going on there. One of the biggest employers in Western New York and the biggest auto group in New York State. I appreciate all of our friends at West Herr. Unfortunately here,
not complimentary. Uncomplimentary, is that what you would say?
Sure. I'll allow it. I was going to yell at you for like jinxing this.
Dude, I have no control over this.
You did this. But you had posted about like, oh man, all right, I hope the defense doesn't turn back into a frog or whatever. Turn back into a pumpkin. Here, and if they do, we easily to that point, New England's best drive of the game, 5 plays, 74 yards, 16-yard pass to Nix, 16-yard pass to Booty, were fantastic sideline play. We do get some pressure.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
The next play after that 16-yard to Booty, the flea flicker.
Yeah.
Play. I didn't see the illegal contact, Benford. I know it's like 5 yards down the field. There was like a little hand fighting for the first few yards. This was one I don't think the Bills earned.
Correct. Yes, I think this is one of the worst calls that they got. Again, most of the rest of them, there were some that were like ticky tack or technical. Like he was technically making contact with him, but this happens every other play in the NFL. You could call this
all
the time.
Yeah, it might not impact the outcome of this drive, but it was very frustrating in the moment of like, come on, like a lot of them you've earned. That's obnoxious.
Yeah. And then the 2nd and 9 play where May is rolling out and hits Diggs 32 yards down to there.
That was Josh Allen-esque.
It was a Josh Allen play.
It was a
Josh Allen throw.
Yeah, that's where I felt like this is Allen to Diggs 2020. Yeah. Like that's what this looks like to me. That's terrifying to even think.
Yeah, rolling out, gorgeous spiral, perfect pass down there, and Diggs again. It was scramble drill. So of all the plays, if you want to be mad at Trey White, this is not the play for him to be mad. Nobody can cover. Christian Gonzalez can't cover for 8 seconds. This is May scrambling around, rolling.
He actually had good coverage on the original route.
Yes, yeah,
there was good coverage there, and then
he took it away, and then the scramble drill rolling back out there like it was.
Safety also didn't get there in time. I think there was safety help over the top, did not arrive in time, and just a great play by 2 players that were playing out of their mind tonight.
And then went back the other direction on the touchdown. We lined up offsides anyways, but Stevenson punched it in for 4 yards out, and all of a sudden we're just like, all right, I can't. Like, I thought we finally had something going here. If we got to stop there and got the ball back, we really could have deflated them. Instead, we let them come back and they retake the lead. Like, I thought
it gets worse from here.
It does. Oh, okay. Oh,
I honestly think a little bit like that first drive was really nice for the offense, but somebody said it early in the chat here where like the offense doesn't click sometimes early in the year. There is something about the third quarter for the Bills early in the season, just not good. I remember that being the thing during the last fall slump was like, oh, they fall apart in the third quarter and then they make it a game, right? You make it a game against the Giants, you make it a game against the Broncos, like. They did that again today, but unfortunately, in a pretty disgusting way coming up here, Greg.
Yeah. So now we have another one where I feel like we've got a little something going. Yeah. So we get the pass to Shakir where the Patriots freaked out because they called the penalty on Schooler. It wasn't on Schooler. Like, the penalty was on Marcus Jones, who rode Shakir out of bounds and then did almost a hip drop tackle, but tackled him to the ground like 6 yards, like 5 steps into the sideline. It wasn't an egregiously violent late hit, but it was completely unnecessary. He could have just let go and instead pulled Shakir down like it was but they shouldn't have called it on Schooler. So that moves us up further and takes us from the 47 all the way into the New England 38. We're feeling good. We take a shot to Shavers, more of a throwaway on that play. We get, I think they technically cut because it was a swing pass to Shakir. It technically counted as a run. Josh hits Kincaid. We actually get a really tough run from Ty Johnson. Like, you couldn't even really see him squirting through people.
Through the middle.
To run everything, and then get a weird pass. We run another one on our screenplay where Shakir's downfield, and
it's so close to the goal line that like the downfield is
it's annoying. But I'm like, all right, we're gonna get this back here, and like Josh throws one of his worst interceptions he's had in a while. Like, he's been really good about these, and he just doesn't see Marcus Jones coming.
Nice play on the ball by Marcus Jones too. He's an athletic guy, made a good play on the ball, but
like locked onto Shakir and tried to force it in, and Marcus Jones came just from off to the right, and Josh doesn't see him coming, jumps the route and picks it off at where we should be going in for a score to be able to take back the lead, and now all of a sudden we're giving them the ball going into the fourth quarter, and they have the ball with the lead
with all the momentum. Yeah, no, not great. This is one of the ones I marked to watch a better view of because it felt like maybe he had Cook for like some amount of yardage on this one, but I didn't see what really was happening for Cook there. But it looked like he looked at him, he faked it, trying to kind of like pull the defense. And then I think he just got caught with his hand in the cookie jar a little. Like my arm can beat all the coverages. And just a guy made a good play on the ball. I don't blame him.
That one.
I don't blame him. That if
and
we
he
want
does
him
so often. Again, all of our comments tonight are holding Josh to his standard, which is unbelievable, best player on the planet standard. And he wasn't.
Most guys don't break on the ball he throws.
Yes, but most guys are physically not able to break on the ball to get there beforehand. I will say I spent a fair amount of time kind of defending the defense here. I thought they played really, really well. This was the one that really, really hurt them. 11 plays, 90 yards. You're down 13-10. You desperately need a stop. And it felt like specifically Stephon Diggs broke our heart on this one. So 3rd and 7, 10 yards to Diggs. Get an incompletion, get a good solid tackle. 3rd and 3, 11 plays to Diggs. They get another nice chunk to Henry. They're moving down. Now we get a 30-yarder to Diggs where it's, this is the one I think where Cole Bishop misses the tackle. Where he comes up, and if we tackle him there, like I think it would have been like a 5 or 6 yard gain. They're probably at like our 30 instead, 30 yards down to the 6. And then we just got caught in a run blitz.
Yeah, Stevenson just walked in on the opposite side.
We had everybody thinking we had the play picked out. They pitched it to the outside. There's nobody there, and he walks in for a touchdown. And now it's, oh my God. It's in the 4th quarter, and we're down 20-10. We're down 2 scores to the Patriots. What the hell is going on?
Stupid. It's stupid that 24-yarder to Henry, too. Like, again, as good as pressure was throughout the game, Drake May had all day back there on some of these late drives where pressure just wasn't getting home when it needed to the most. Like, it was there early. Didn't feel like it was there late. He was able to do some great things. Yeah, Cole missing that touchdown, a terrible look. But I think he otherwise had a decent game. It felt like Cole Bishop was like kind of.
I didn't see him flash negative. I didn't see a lot of other. Obviously, we can't see safeties half the game.
No,
so it's hard to know.
I felt Rapp a few times making some negative plays that I have marked, but I didn't feel that way for Cole.
I agree.
In this game. And so just to see him make a play like that's going to stand out in my mind. And Diggs looking 3-4 years younger, running the ball once he got by a little burst there. Really thought he was going to break that one for a touchdown. They ultimately end up scoring here. Although still, I do feel like maybe it's just a false sense of hope because Josh Allen, you've been in this position already before this year. Like there's plenty of time for we almost did it. Like
give it a minute. We almost did it.
We almost go and do it. But I still felt like, okay, like enough of the games. Now you got to earn your way back into this one, but I still believe, right?
Yeah. So to that note, we do give ourselves a shot here. So we get the 23-yarder to Kincaid right off the bat. We then get the back-to-back weird penalties. So they get the roughing the passer, which Jordan did hit him right in the helmet. That was a textbook one, like launch through, hit him in the helmet, easy call.
Another one was super easy call too.
Yeah, I get it that I also saw James Cook almost try to lateral the ball back to Josh Allen.
Sure.
And I saw it and was like, what are you doing? And all I can think of is that Farmer saw that and thought, oh, he must not be down. But it looked pretty clearly obvious
whistles.
there that
you gotta play with whistles, man.
It was I think he was dumb more than dirty, but that's the kind of play that looks dirty. He was just sitting there on a knee and you leveled him for no reason. Thank God he didn't get hurt because that's a big dude. Just really, really weird and dumb. Then there's another play like Josh was trying to take a shot, ends up kind of scrambling, picking up, just settling for 3 yards. Then we get a nice tough run after catch from Knox. Josh scrambles again. We get Ray Davis in the game, which now isn't it weird how foreign it feels when Ray Davis comes in the game?
There was one moment.
It's weird.
I think this might have been that moment. It had to have been, right? Where I was like, if you're gonna use him, why now? Why are we using him now?
Where we're in scramble mode down there in the red zone,
Did Cook's shoe come untied or something? Like, what do we like? It felt like weird to just like, okay, now James Cook or Ray Davis is here. I haven't seen Ray Davis all night. I don't know. And the usage feels weird. They don't know really what to do with Ray right now because of how good Cook has been.
Yeah, it's super odd. So then we get another, like, Josh ends up scrambling. We get he does the tush push. We convert, and then we come back on the next play. Coleman scores, and it's feeling like, okay, all right, maybe like it's 7:37 left. We're back within 3, but the defense has just given up like a really back-breaking drive, and you're not feeling super confident. But like, all right, let's see if we can pull something off here.
Going into this drive, the Patriots had a 69% chance to win.
Yeah.
I was like, this was the moment. You got what? How much time's left? Did you say?
7:37.
7:37 left.
7:37 left. You're kicking the ball back to them with the lead. They have a chance to put the game away. You have to find a way to make a stop.
Yeah, it felt exactly like, okay, yep, now we're gonna make the stop, go down, win this game. Like this I thought this is where we would kick off our West Herr drive of the game. Like some complimentary football.
Yeah.
So we didn't finish the deal. But go ahead. Tell the people.
So we get it here. Stevenson gets 6 yards on first down. Henderson gets here, and this is a really clutch tackle that, Henderson really looked like he was about to get the first down. Groot hits him, and I think it's Bernard that helps, like, kind of bring him down, where he is a full yard short. They line up and are ready to do their tush push, and their guy jumps off sides, knocks him back. So now it's 3rd and 6 instead of 3rd and 1, and now you get where Shaq Thompson does spy May, and Collinsworth's been talking forever about let him roll right. Shaq Thompson just really bursts, and for as old as he is, had it in that moment, was able to get there, gets a huge sack to drive May out of bounds, but gets the sack, and like, holy crap, I think we're going to get it back. And this doesn't have anything to do with it, but in that moment, I would have loved like a meh punt, not a 73-yard rocket that, even though it went into the end zone, is still a net 53-yard punt. Like, I could have used like a 35-yarder here that, like, they're frustrated and annoyed that we get to start at the 40, but they uncork a ridiculous punt.
When that ball came off his foot, I was like, you got to be kidding me that you just got the stop and are going to get like buried at the 1 again. Like, just have like, I was like, no,
went in the end zone. It almost could have been like
this was a touchback on that kick. Like, if you get buried there after the way the offense had been playing, the way they had responded to those tough field position spots before, like the getting out with the free yards felt like a big win.
Yeah. In here, it was okay. In my mind, it was like, oh my God, we're going to get away with this. I can't believe it. This has been an ugly game. We don't deserve this. The Patriots have played really, really well.
We're going to get on here and say none of that mattered. They got the win. Yeah.
Like, ha ha ha. We're still
silly them.
We're still undefeated. So we get the initial run. Then we get, like, I don't know what their Gibbons was thinking. Like, that he could just, like, I get it. Like, maybe subtly you try to nudge Cook out of bounds so he's ineligible, but like, just literally 2 hands shoving him out of bounds was such a weird look.
Yeah. Too much.
So obviously called for pass interference. So that's 19 yards, gets us down a little bit closer. We start to get into a little bit of, like, not sugar high, Josh, but like hero ball, Josh, like trying to look deep on a lot of these.
I have it marked for coverage, so like I want to see what the coverage was doing. Like he wanted something. He wasn't.
What was he not seeing?
Yeah, and he was just taking that like 3 yards. There was a lot of that tonight where like he was looking downfield, wasn't getting the look he wanted, and I want to know, was it like the intermediate stuff to Kincaid, because that seemed like it was open all day, or were they trying to take a shot to Palmer and he just didn't feel like it was there yet?
We do get the really clutch, back shoulder throw to Coleman that he goes up over top of Carlton Davis on 3rd and 6.
Which I
huge conversion.
Redeemed for my tweet of like, he's going to make a game breaking play. That was
it looked like it. It looked like that was going to be like the play we go back to.
Yeah.
Here, I don't mind still mixing in a run, but I almost feel like in this spot, like, is it really like we're playing the clock as well a little bit? So we get
spot, right. Like you ideally would like to drain out and win.
Yeah, you want to
get the
keep
best.
working your way down.
Yeah.
So it's probably the right call, and ultimately it doesn't matter because we do get the conversion on the next play, but just felt kind of odd in the moment.
I agree.
And now we get the couple in a row where, like, the first one, he's trying to go deep and then ends up trying to check down to Shakir, doesn't convert. We get the deep shot to Coleman where he technically catches the ball out of the back of the end zone, but can't come down with it. Now it's 3rd and 10, so like we don't check down either of those plays, so you don't give yourself any real chance to change up your play calling, and try to go to Shakir on this one, and we get incomplete, and now all of a sudden it's like, oh, well, I guess we just have to try to tie it. And even then, I didn't feel great. It's Prater's still old. I was happy he kicked great. But we kicked the 45-yarder, but we're giving the ball back with 2:17, and we just got the like clutch stop that the defense really needed to give us. And I was very deflated in that moment of like, I can't believe we just tied it and gave them the ball back when we had a chance to end this and go down for a touchdown.
I didn't even want to go to overtime at this point. You deserve to lose this football game. Like, you didn't even execute this right? Like, you kind of got cute there trying to drain the clock, and then you end up getting caught with your pants down because you don't convert the drive, and there's still enough time, and they still have some timeouts to go do exactly what they want to do on their end. And it's sloppy. It's sloppy from top to bottom, probably coaching staff through on this type of drive. I expect better execution because I've seen it, and maybe that's unrealistic expectations in these moments. But as bad as they played tonight, the game is on the line. They had a chance to do it. You walk away with the field goal. You say this all the time. Whatever the opposing fan base wants us to do, I don't want to do it. Every Patriots fan in the world wanted that drive to end in a field goal. The way the Bills were moving down the field, like, just hold them to 3, give us a chance to put this game in overtime or win it here. And the Bills gave them the opportunity to go out and do what the Patriots did and put a drive together to win this football game. But Drake May putting his first, what is this? How many game-winning drives? I wonder if Chris.
This is his first win over a team with a winning record, I think.
Has he had some game winners for like the drive to like lead him into field goal range? This is definitely his signature win, right?
Oh, like, easily his biggest win. Maybe not technically his only one, but it might be, because I don't think there was a lot of other ones. I think on paper the Joe Milton game last week technically counts as a win over a team with a winning record because it was against us, and he technically started that game.
Correct.
But this is the first real one that he was able to get.
Producer Colin comes in with the 0 game-winning drives for May per Pro Football Review. So there you go. He gets his first one against us. How does that feel? Fantastic.
Awesome. Super great. Super great. So they come in
tomorrow. This is great.
Yeah, hit Diggs. The play to Booty was just crushing. Like, we had pressure. We're right there in his face. Hits a fantastic throw to Booty. We have to burn a timeout. Then now we're playing the clock, trying to get them to mess around and give us a chance to come back and tie it up afterwards. But that one to Booty, like, already put them fully into position. I will say we at least got the like stops enough here where
52's no joke.
Yeah, like, it made it like stressful, and the real key was that 3rd down play, and what's going to go down is on paper technically a sack by Cole Bishop. Was one of Drake May's best plays of the game because he had immediate pressure, almost got hit for a 6-7 yard loss, which all of a sudden now you're almost out of field goal range, and now you're having to make a weird decision on 4th and 11 at the 4, for a 61-yard field goal. And he gets out of that, gets back to where he doesn't throw it away. They would have been a lot of guys would have, as soon as they got out of the initial immediate pressure, would have thrown the ball because he had scrambled, could have just thrown the ball out of bounds, which would have gave us a ton of time. He didn't do that. He got back to the line of scrimmage, preserved that, and gave them a chance to then have Borg-Ellis kick a 52-yarder with 20 seconds left, and
I was gonna say that pulled like 25 seconds off the clock or something, right? And between that play running and them having to take a timeout.
Ended up taking, it was 47 seconds left, 47 seconds between the two of running the play and then letting the clock run down as much as they could.
Yeah, they did a good job executing.
We didn't even do pitchy woo woo. Normally we get to see that. Josh Palmer slipped on the play, didn't even get to lateral back to anybody. Not that those plays ever worked. The only one I can ever remember is where the Dolphins beat the locker room, the Patriots.
Get those jerseys into an incinerator.
Yeah.
Done. Pull all the white out. No more whiteouts. That didn't work for us. It's not our thing.
Producer Colin, do you have nuggets for us to share with the team? Let's bring up Producer Colin, and then we'll get ourselves out of here.
What are you degenerates all still doing out here?
Yeah, it's still way too many people watching us live.
Yeah, shout out the 3,500 people still here at 1:00 after a Bills loss. That's some commitment.
All right. Anything interesting that you found in this game?
Yeah, nothing super crazy, especially after a loss. Adam Pencil had a good some EPA stats that he tweeted out. The Bills held the Patriots to negative 0.04 EPA per attempt on 3rd and 4th down. Only 36% of their attempts resulted in points or a first down in this game.
That's usually a spot they've gotten
better at third downs the last couple of weeks here too.
23 points should be a win. It just should. This should have been a win. We can't. Again, the defense had plenty of things they want to take back, but we can't go into halftime with 3 points. We can't go into the fourth quarter with 10 points.
For me, the defense gave up in the worst moments of tonight, which is probably the worst outcome for Bills fans, because that is just reminiscent of that's what's gonna ruin us, right? It was at the end of the half where they gave up the long drive for points, and then at the end of the game where you give up the drive for points. Those in the 90-yard drive, those 3 drives. Otherwise, you played the best game of the year, and should have still walked out with a victory in this one for as good as he played, but just tough timing for them to have those drives.
And I saw you had a fantastic tight end wins stat that I liked a lot.
Yeah, well, I have 2 tight end stats for you. So first, Dalton Kincaid had a career high 108 receiving yards. His previous high was 87.
So I was wrong earlier. This was his first 100-yard game.
From what I found, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And then also another tight end stat that I just made up, but it's factually correct. The Bills are 4-0 when Jackson Hawes catches a pass and 0-1 when he doesn't. So that's science for you.
Hey, if you can't work in one tight play action leak for Jackson Hawes per game, you deserve to lose. You got to be able to work it.
They tried out one of those short yardage ones where they were getting a free. I think it was a second and one where they had kind of a free play, and they covered it up. Pats covered up, and Josh ran it for 3 yards or something.
And Josh ended up scrambling. That was probably supposed to be a shot play to Hawes.
Yeah. So Pats are on to us. They knew if you just take away that Jackson Hawes reception, you got this thing in the bag.
And every week it's been 1 target and 1 reception.
Yeah, that's it. We got to get back to it. Yeah, and one final nugget for you. The Bills now have 8 players with a scrimmage touchdown after Curtis Samuel found the end zone tonight, which is tied for second most in the NFL. Baltimore's in first right now with 9. It's super weird that Baltimore's in first, but
yeah, maybe not a stat that's indicative of success.
Yeah,
we could say. Yeah, but interesting.
All right, guys. We appreciate everybody. Thank you guys for everybody listening. This is a frustrating one. Real shame. Definitely a winnable game, but it's the way the season goes. There's going to be a lot more wins coming down the stretch here. Make sure you give us a rating, give us a like, give us a review. Come on over and check out everything that we're having. I'm really curious to see Anthony and Eric and Sal break down some of this game here. I'm curious what you find, Aaron, when you take a look at it. Just a lot of questions on why we made some of the choices we did. So I'm curious to see the All-22 and see if we could learn a little bit more here of why this game turned out the way it did. But on behalf of fantastic producer Colin Ritchie and my partner in crime, Aaron Quinn, I am Greg Tompsett. You have been listening to Cover One Buffalo, and we are out.